Do you know that on a typical 10-day trip to Bali, you can be spending up to rupees 30,000 on local transportation? Yes, local transportation is very important for enhancing your experience and your budget. So in this video, we are going to talk about 3 modes of transportation which 90% of tourists are going to use in Bali. And these are two-wheeler, cabs, and ferries. And hopefully from this video, you can find a way or two to save money and enhance your experience. Hello guys, my name is Gaurav and you're watching me on Log On to Gaurav. So let's begin. You can get Scooty in Bali starting from rupees 500 per day to rupees 800 per day. The rate varies depending on from where you are renting and the type of Scooty you are renting. There are a lot of rental shops all around Bali, but as you go deep inside Ubud or North Bali, these rental shops are scarce, but again, your hotel or Airbnb host can help you in that. You don't have to show them your international driving permit during renting, but they ask for your passport and driving license while renting. I would suggest getting the IDP, International Driving Permit, as traffic police may ask for it anytime. We were not asked about IDP anytime in Bali, but I've heard that if you get caught without IDP, you might have to pay heavy fines. I have explained the process of getting IDP in this video. You can check that out for more details. On top of rental charges, you have to pay on fuel. Fuel costs around 10,000 IDR per liter. Driving Scooty is fun if you know how to. You might have seen videos of people crashing it in Bali, apparently as a lot of people don't know how to drive a two-wheeler. Especially Scooty, which has a high top speed and acceleration. Two-wheeler culture is very popular in India, so I can assume that you know how to drive a two-wheeler. But remember to follow traffic rules and don't do rash driving because people drive with a lot of decency as compared to India. There are many advantages of two-wheeler, especially in cities areas where traffic can build up very fast. But we'll compare two-wheeler versus four-wheeler later on in this video. Few tips regarding using two-wheeler in Bali are: first one, select a Scooty which has a mobile holder. It is very handy as you don't have to stop to check the map, or the rider at the back doesn't have to look into the phone and can be free to make some cool videos. Also, have a mobile waterproof cover to save your phone from Bali rains. Second, carry a raincoat. These are a lightweight kind of raincoat so that if it rains, you can continue your journey. We had to travel so much while it was raining, even though we chose the best weather to visit Bali. So when you have to travel in rain, these raincoats are very handy. But in such cases, you should prefer four-wheeler, which we are going to discuss next. There is one more way to take the advantage of two-wheeler in Bali, which is using the local two-wheeler service like Grab and Gojek application. They are super convenient to use. They operate almost everywhere, but not in North Bali or north of Ubud. In city areas, they are surplus and you can find them everywhere. You can directly talk to them without having the app. Actually, we tried that in Sanur Port area. We didn't have the app, but we asked the Gojek driver directly to drop us to a point. He told us a rate and it was okay for us. So we hired 2 Scooties and took the drop. So this is also a way to use the Gojek and Grab service without having their app. So now let's talk about cabs. Our first impression in Bali about the cabs were they were super clean, comfortable and professional. You can hire cabs from Grab or Gojek application, or you can contact your hotel for arranging a cab. Rate of cab depends on where you want to go and how long they will be engaged. They can cost from rupees 4,000 per day to rupees 6,000 per day. For example, one day we decided to go to Lovina beach from Ubud and then take a drop to Kusamba port. That day, the cab cost us rupees 6,300. To know the day-to-day expenses of cab, check out our Bali vlogs. They are out. The link of the Bali vlogs is in the description, and you haven't subscribed yet, go and subscribe the channel. Cab drivers can help you plan your trip and they are open to negotiate. Our driver, Mr. Brandi, who was with us for 3 days, invited us to his house. But due to paucity of time, we could not go. But getting a cab can give you such opportunities. He helped us carry our bags, bought coconut water for us, so nice of him, and helped us in so many other ways. I have provided the contact details of Brandi in the description so you can contact him for your cab rides in Bali. For airport transfers, we used Welcome Pickup. The rate there were the cheapest for airport drop and pickup. So I did the payment in advance using my Forex card, which got me the best conversion rate. And if you want to know more about Forex card, travel cards, I have made a separate video on it and you can check that out for more details. So now let's compare Scooty and cab. Scooty is the cheapest. Even after adding the fuel cost for the day, the maximum rate would go up to rupees 1,000 per day. That is the maximum and that is very cheap compared to the cab. Second one is liberty of more exploration. You don't have to plan your destination. The plan can be flexible without worrying much about the cost overrun. Third thing is you can find a parking very easily. In a parking spot, the space for parking a two-wheeler can be found easily compared to a four-wheeler, which can save a lot of time. Scooty is faster for short durations, and believe me, the traffic in Ubud, Canggu, Seminyak area builds up very fast and you can be stuck in traffic for long if you are in a four-wheeler. Next thing is the issues in rain. So if it's raining in Bali, then you'll definitely going to have a problem on a two-wheeler. It will be wet, you have to carry raincoat with you and you'll feel cold. Same goes when there is sun in the Bali. Your skin will get tanned, you have to cover your skin so that you can be protected from the skin burns. The one thing that we encountered in Bali is that pillion seat can be uncomfortable if the grip in the seat is not good. So example, in Nusa Penida, we got the Scooty with very less grip in its seat. And Nusa Penida is a hilly place, so it became a leg day for Gia. She had to always engage her thigh muscles to just sit on the Scooty. Next day, we had to change the Scooty. And if you are traveling long distances on a Scooty, that could be very tiring. We had to travel 80 kilometers a day to visit certain places, and it was so tiring and it really kind of spoiled our experience. So that was basically happening because I chose the wrong place for the hotel. To know the full issue about this thing, check out my video on the hotels. Next thing is getting a two-wheeler is easy. You can find it shop all around you and it's very easy to get one. And the next thing is you require IDP to drive a Scooty. It's very easy process to get an IDP, but if you don't have, then you probably want to stay away from two-wheelers and driving anything in Bali. Now talking about cabs. Cabs are definitely costlier than a two-wheeler. As I've explained you, they can range up to rupees 2,000 per day to 4,000, 5,000 and up to 6,000 rupees per day, depending on your route. Next thing is your will is kind of half, but your driver assists you and in fact help you sometimes to create the itinerary. But if you have pre-planned something, you don't have much liberty to change the course in midway because that would again may incur some more cost and you'll have to be mindful about it. There is absolutely no issue in rain or sun. You can sit comfortably in your four-wheeler. And believe me, that is super comfortable because for this experience we hired a four-wheeler once and it was really convenient when your plan is fixed for the day. Cab is good for fixed known places and you don't have to get an IDP or driving license for that, but it may require advanced planning, at least a day before. So with above comparison, you can yourself see which one is best for you. In my opinion, you should keep the combination of both because sometimes you require two-wheeler for short distances, but when you have a long distance to travel, you can hire a cab, or when the weather is bad but still you want to travel, you should get a cab. Otherwise, Scooty is fine. Now let's talk about third mode of transportation, which is ferries. Now if you want to get off the Bali island, you have to use the ferries. Suppose you want to go to Nusa Penida, Gili Islands, then you have to use the ferry. There are two famous ports to catch the ferry in Bali, Sanur Port and Kusamba Port. Sanur Port is more popular. There are many ports in Nusa Lembongan and Nusa Penida Islands. So based on your location in Bali and Nusa Penida, you can select the port. For example, we were in Sidaman area before traveling to Nusa Penida, so we chose Kusamba Port. Also, time taken by these ferries depends on the port, so you can factor in that parameter when selecting the port. Also keep in mind the location of your hotel, as your hotel can be closer to one port than the other, and that difference can cost you or save you up to rupees 2,000 on cab. For example, while going to Nusa Penida, we chose Biok Harbour and from there our hotel was very close, so it didn't cost us much for the cab. Now let's talk about ferry operators. There are many ferry operators like Ganga Express, Kaspala Bali, Idola Express, Samaya One, Axstone, etc. You can use websites like one2go.asia, Klook or baliferries.com to book these ferries and know more about the timing of these ferries. We found out that the rates of one2go.asia were the cheapest and they had many options. The ferry ticket cost around rupees 700 to 1000 per person. You can choose any seat to sit on the ferry. Now here we found the difference between the operators. In Ganga Express, we went to the deck. If you know us and you have seen our previous video, then you know how much we hate sitting inside the ferry. We always want to go on the deck. So that was okay in Ganga Express. But during our return trip with Axstone, they were letting only those people on the deck who would buy a beer. So that felt didn't right. But what can be done? So we sat inside and believe me, sitting inside was not that fun as to be on the deck. You can watch the full video of our ferry experience in day 7 and day 9 vlog. Link to the Bali series videos is in the description. Regarding carrying your own luggage to the boat is concerned, you can face some problems depending on the port. In Kusamba Port, there was a wooden pier up to the boat so we could roll our bags on the wheel. But in Banjar New Harbour in Nusa Penida Island, There was a long way along the beach filled with sand, where you cannot roll your bags on its wheel. So be mindful of it. Sanur Port was good in this regard. So this was all about transportation in Bali. Let me know if this video helped you by liking this video, and if you haven't subscribed the channel, please do so for more such travel related content. Stay tuned for more such content. Till then, take care and enjoy the life.